And joining me this evening is Union Energy Minister, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri. Thank you very much, Mr. Puri. How do you react to the budget? And please don't say it only as a minister in the Modi government 3.0 budget. Many people in the Congress party are calling it the cut and paste government and the cut and paste budget because a lot of ideas have been picked up from the Congress manifesto. How do you respond to that statement coming in from the Congress party?
Madam Navika, I would like at the outset to disassociate myself from those categorizations. First of all, I will speak to you as a citizen of India first and as a cabinet minister later. Equally, if the Congress party or as one of their stalwarts claim that some of the ideas in the budget were also contained in their manifesto, may I just ask through you, with due reverence and respect, where does it say that two people can't get the same idea, and how do you know that this idea originated with them? I mean, these ideas have been around for a long time. Let's do some context setting, madam. 10 years ago, the Honorable Prime Minister assumed responsibility in Delhi. 10 years ago, we were characterized as amongst the fragile 5 economies. Our global ranking then had come up from 11th to 10th. Today, 10 years later, we are at the 5th position. And as the IMF report yesterday or today, I don't know when I read it, said that by 2027, we will be the 3rd largest economy in the world. Now, you don't go from being a part of the fragile 5 to the 5th position in the world and onward to the 3rd position by practicing what I call irresponsible economics. This is a budget which clearly demonstrates a continuity in terms of fiscal consolidation and trying to let loose the productive forces in all segments of our society. Let me just give you an idea. We have gone from women-centered development to women-led development. We had reservation of 33.3% for that. This budget puts aside or provides for 3 lakh crores of rupees for implementing women-led development. Then we've been talking about our Annadata. Rural development has received 2.66 lakh crores. Now that's again a very impressive figure. Now we talk about jobs, youth, skill training. 4.1 crore jobs over a 5-year period. Then 1 crore youth to be provided internship in a novel scheme in 500 of the country's leading companies. Mudra loans to go up from 10 lakh limit to 20 lakhs. So I can give you a host of things. This is a very positively growth, stability, and a budget designed to navigate India forward from a $3 trillion to a $5 trillion economy. Insofar as what the opposition is saying, look, I have been around for a long time. I spent about 50 years in public life. I don't know any situation where an opposition, if they show some statesmanship, they should say, I'm glad you embraced some of our ideas also. But to say it's a cut and paste job, I mean, what are they doing? I know my we spend according to what we are able to provision. And we spend it in a responsible manner. And that is what the Honorable Finance Minister has succeeded in doing. If I go back to some of their own schemes, floating oil bonds, doing irresponsible things and letting future generations pay for it. That's the difference.
Well, of course, for 10 years we've been talking about that. But the fact that this time around there are these schemes that talk about employment, the fact that you have now an internship scheme, the fact that employment has been recognized as the central issue in terms of a challenge that the economy faces, also is being claimed as the opposition's success, that you've had to put it right in the center of your policy making, something that you were in denial of all these years. So finally, are you recognizing that unemployment is a big issue, which is why maybe today you are part of a coalition government and not a government on your own steam, Mr. Hardeep Puri?
Madam, far from that. I would go a step further. You cannot generate employment and provide for these kinds of things like 3 lakh crores for women's empowerment till the economy grows. Yes, there has been a certain amount of jobless growth in the economy. That's not an India-specific feature, that's a global feature. As a result of which, yes, economic growth has taken place, but it has taken place in the services sector, in technology, where brick and mortar jobs don't create it. This is now, we are going a step further. You learn as you go along. We are very happy that the opposition is thinking constructively, but what was the opposition saying during the election campaign? We are talking about generating employment and growth. They are talking about caste census. They were talking about khata cut. वो हम कास्ट सेंसस करेंगे, पता करेंगे किसके पास कितना धन है, उसको बांट देंगे. So that is what they should come to terms with. I mean, if there are some good ideas, we've got some brilliant ideas, and they had them. I don't think something we should be defensive on. I think the fact that we have navigated from the fragile 5 situation to the 5th largest economy, moving to be the 3rd largest economy, is a matter of satisfaction, to which the credit goes to the visionary leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister and the budgets, last 7 budgets presented by the Honorable Finance Minister.
So let me ask you, Mr. Hardeep Puri, why then on social media, and I'm only talking social media because whether it's your party or other political parties, they depend a lot on social media trends to look at various issues in terms of the narrative setting. So if I look at the narrative, what is trending is middle class, what is trending is nota, what is also trending is the tax breaks which have broken the hearts of the middle class, because it's less than 1,500 rupees a month to a salaried section of society that works very hard, that is a minuscule part of the Indian population, yet gets very little when it comes to cuts in taxes, but when it comes to taxing them more and generating resources for the country, it's the first area where every finance minister goes to hike up rates. Middle classes, do you think they got a raw deal?
Well, no, I would say, in fairness, that before every budget, there is an expectation that the tax slabs, income tax slabs on personal income, that those would either be done away completely or they would be doubled. Now, I can, empathize with that. I was a civil servant for 39 years. But when I look at the slabs, for instance, 0 to 3 lakhs, 0%, that's unchanged. But 3 to 6 lakhs at 5%, that has gone up to 3 to 7 lakhs. Equally, 7 to 10 lakhs has gone up to 10%. 10 to 12 lakhs has gone up to 15%. And so there is relief. You could argue that maybe some sections of the middle class expected more. But Navika ji, I'll come to another aspect of it. This is a time where the free food or 3 meals of dry ration in a day for 80 crore people has been extended for 5 years, where we have ensured that the prices of petrol and diesel have not gone up. So you have to look at the totality. Yes, a middle class representative would say, but there are other things which have come in, which you should also look at.
Like long-term capital gains. So anybody investing in mutual funds, anybody investing in the stock markets has got a double whammy. The indexation has gone, which means, if you have inherited assets, those will be taxed more. So that's the middle class for you.
I'll come to that in a minute. Let's define whom we are talking about. If we are talking about the middle class, and the middle class is interested in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and you've got 4 crore built, 1 crore in the urban sector, and they're going to build another 3 crore, including 1 crore more, I think that is where it comes in. If you're providing cheap urban transport, when you come to long-term capital gain, it's not as if you're going to be taxed 12% definitely. If, for instance, during the 1 year period, you invest in another property, then you don't pay that. So, I mean, I think from the middle class, you can't jump to the propertied and, mutual funds and expensive real estate. But I agree with you. These are calls that the finance minister has to take. And I'm sure that this, whatever you're saying will be addressed. By the way, following social media is one thing, and I'm I am both, I follow the social media and happily get trolled by it also. Or not so happily, I
All
should
of
say.
us do.
But you know, the stock market also, that was the initial reaction. Oh, well, madam, you are a popular face of the nation at prime time. I am not that. So maybe you should get trolled more than me. I'm just joking. But if you look at the real situation today, the stock market also reflected that. Then it came up. I mean, the last I saw the stock market before I started singing for my supper in front of you, I mean, the market had gone up over 100 points or so. And by the way, did you notice that the stock market in the last few weeks had gone up to 80,000 and beyond? So it's all within that band. So let's wait for public reactions. I am confident that this is a very good budget at a time when the global situation, as Nirmala ji said, is facing all kinds of uncertainties. I mean, many countries in Europe are either flirting with recession or are in recession. There are geopolitical tensions. In the midst of that, Modi ji's Bharat shows fiscal consolidation and a solid, robust, growth-oriented, stable budget.
What would you say about another observation on the budget, which is Kursi Bachao budget, because it actually tries to give some packages in the form of development programs for both Andhra Pradesh and Bihar. Your allies also some sort of an invitation to those part of the India alliance to probably come here because यहाँ आओगे मेवा मिलेगा, वहाँ रहोगे ठेंगा मिलेगा, because Tamil Nadu and West Bengal haven't got anything.
Madam, I would say that I don't see any invitation cards concealed in the budget for the other members of the India Alliance. Bihar and Andhra are both very much integral parts of the country. If Bihar has been suffering from problems on flooding on account of problems from its neighbor from Nepal, and the center wants to help them out, or if the center wants to do something for the eastern states, Purvodaya, in which there are not only Bihar, there is Orissa, there are other eastern states also coming there. I mean, that should be welcome. Insofar as Andhra is concerned, by the way, I saw statements by both the chief ministers of Bihar and the chief minister of Andhra. What was being discussed earlier and what is being done is the center will facilitate the economic development of those, as the center will facilitate the economic development of other states as well, as the center has done. But, you know, they are lifting these points out because they are, you know, in a situation, they've been making irresponsible statements in the past saying, ye to chalne wali cheez nahi hai, ye nahi. Now when they see they were a very good budget and the two alliance partners have expressed a degree of satisfaction and welcomed it, both the chief ministers, and I was speaking to my friend Sanjay Jha, who's the working president. He was also saying this is exactly the direction we're going. So unko bolo, abhi relax karo. Abhi budget pe charcha hogi. We'll tell you what we are doing for the other states also, which is there in the budget. Just, they should, by the way, Navika ji, they should open the budget and read it. It's like that red book that they've been waving around, which had a cellophane cover on it. If they'd opened it, they would have seen the preface to the 7th edition, जिसमें इनकी निंदा की गई थी. So इनकी बातें आप ज़्यादा seriously मत लें.
Well, Hardeep Puri, right now, all we can say is Andhra and Bihar are the two big states of the country. The others are waiting in the queue. As they say, pratiksha kare, aap queue mein hai. That wait will go on till the finance minister smiles on them. But that's the way politics goes and that's the way economic goes. Well done.
No, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. All states have benefited from all the central schemes. Now, this is not, some of these schemes are not one state specific. They cover a lot of other schemes. It so happens that you're listing some of them. I would happily go into it, what has been done for the other states on a separate occasion after this budget charcha phase is over.
Well, all right, we'll wait for that. But these are exactly the states that were listed by the finance minister in her speech. But of course, it's the media at fault when they pick up a headline from what is spoken by the government. We leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Media is never fault. Yeah.
Hardeep Puri, you're always a good sport. Thank you very much for joining me right here on Times Now.